There we go. Okay guys, so today what I want to be talking about is the Akashic Records. I want to tell you guys how it is that I access the Akashic Records so that you can do it at home. But before I do that, I just want to do a quick rerun through what the Akashic Records actually are to help you guys better understand some of the, often misperception or conception, some of the misunderstandings around the topic of the Akashic Records. One common one is that most people believe that the Akashic Records are literally records held within a library. This is not true. You see, the reason why so many people misinterpret what other people are saying during their explanations of the Akashic Records is because, well, of this one fact. The subconscious mind learns through metaphors and also learns by taking what it already knows to make sense out of something new. So a lot of people who teach people about the Akashic Records, they'll use a library because a lot of people already know about libraries. The problem is they don't tell the person that they're teaching, hey, I'm going to teach you about something that you possibly don't know about. And I'm going to use what you already know to make sense out of it. So don't take it literally. And because they don't, tell them that extra additional piece of information, a lot of people tend to take it literally. Okay? Now the reason why most people who take it literally see it as a library is because what they're actually accessing is the etheric realm. Now the etheric realm is built upon thought forms. So you'll find that the same way that a deity is created within the etheric realm by a lot of people praying to an image of, well, a deity, some sort of god, the etheric realm also harbors an Akashic thought form structure. The thing is about thoughts in the subconscious mind that are projected within the etheric realm, this realm of thought, is that your subconscious mind has the ability to access the real records of the Akashic Records and place them within a thought structure of the library. So the practitioner of the astral projection who's standing inside of the records of the Akashic Records will be walking through their own subconscious projected mind under the assumption that this is literally the Akashic Records. Now their subconscious mind, which is divine, it's connected to everything, understands what this person is doing and what this person believes. So it's going to give that person what it is that he or she wants. So that subconscious, that divine aspect of everyone that's connected to everything, will find that point of space that they're looking for, that record, and will implant it within a book. So you'll hear a lot of people saying how they visited the Akashic Records, opening a book and then seeing that point of time recorded in history inside of a record of sorts. But really what's going on there is, like I've just stated, they're walking amongst a giant thought form. And that higher mind is facilitating in them accessing the Akashic Records through that means. But what the Akashic Records actually is something more simplistic. So first off, I'm going to teach you guys how it is in the way that other people have failed to do so using the metaphor of a library, or the example of a library, okay? And now that I've told you how I'm going to go about it, there should be no confusion. It's like if you could imagine trying to teach somebody from a parallel universe who's never had candy in their entire life that, hey, where I'm from, we have lollipops. In order to make them understand what a lollipop actually is, you could go about it like this. Lollipops on my earth, they're round balls of sugar, kind of like honey. Round spheres, like your earth. So what you've just done there is you've used honey, what they already know, and round spheres, like their earth, to use what they already know to make sense out of something they don't know. And you could say that it's stuck on a stick, kind of like this pencil. Catch my drift? So, first off, the Akashic Records. This is where it gets cool, okay? What I'm about to teach you is how to do it. Let's do the rerun. And who knows? maybe we can get you to access the things that you want to know in life. Not just life, but parallel lives. Nothing is off limits with the Akashic Records. Akasha meaning ethers, by the way. Ethers being thoughts, energy, vibration, all that good stuff. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys these images. These images will break it down to you in a more simplistic way, so there's no confusion. And then I'll tell you guys how to access. So first, I'm going to have to go and grab my camera. Okay, so what you have here is a representation of the emotional experience, the third dimensional experience dealing with physical matter, and thought experience dealing with the mental mind. Okay, now each record of experience, the information held within any point of space, exists within its own separate point of space. For example, you've got this blue square here which represents the third dimension. Scale it back and you have this pink square here that represents the emotional experience of anybody. You can feel the emotional record, you cannot see the emotions, but you can see the 3D experience. And it's the same for the thought. You can receive and project thoughts, which then transcribe or turn into images and vocals within your pineal gland, but you cannot see the thought experience until it's received by the third eye. Okay? And each level of thought exists within its own dimensional existence, its own plane of existence. Okay? Look at it like pages of a book. But in order to read the archives or to read these pages of the book, you need to be able to access the information or read the language of the Akasha, meaning energy or etheric thought form. Everything here is energy. 3D experience is just a denser version of light, which is energy. The emotional experience is just the emotional body, which is light, which is energy, vibrating on a different wavelength, a different frequency, and it's the same for thoughts. Okay? It's all energy, just vibrating on different frequencies that exist within different points of space. To a human, they'll only see it from this perspective. If you're standing in front of a person, they'll only see what's in front of them, the blue line, the 3D experience. They may feel the person's emotion if they're angry or excited, and every now and then they may hear a thought pop into their mind from a song that that person that they're looking at is thinking. But otherwise, most people are just fixated on the physical attributes of this third dimensional realm. Therefore, they cut themselves off of accessing the Akashic or the record of all the other experiential information that person has to offer. Now, this is pretty simplistic. And now I'm going to show you the next page. Or is it the next side? And it's going to be a little bit more, it's going to look more complicated, but it's real simple once I tell you. Just bear in mind the colors here, okay, the color scheme. This green represents thought, pink, emotion, blue, 3D experience. All experiences in time and space that everyone experiences. I say everyone because there are parallel versions of you, okay? Which means, I'm getting ahead of myself, let me just show you. Remember the person I just showed you? Do you remember the color scheme I talked about? Well, this right here, this is everyone. Well, not literally everyone in the world, because I can't draw that many bodies, but let's, for the sake of this video, pretend this is everyone. And the pink is the emotions, like I said earlier. Now this this is you. You've had those experiences where you've fallen in love and you've looked at your lover, and it's like you can see your reflection. If you're having a hard time believing that, then try looking back at the photos of the times where you took a photo of you kissing the one you love. It's almost as if you're looking at two of the same person. It's because you are in everything. And if you understand that logic, if you had your experiences where you feel yourself in things, this is what I'm trying to show here. By putting the I in everything, this I
these eyes, represents the consciousness's ability to see through other people's experience, or in other words, to see other people's archives or records of their experiences throughout their life. That's including parallel versions of themselves. If you go up here, you have a blade of grass, and again, there you are, the eye. The eye represents the consciousness's ability to see or to be aware whilst in that present state of being. A lot of people, a lot of humans laugh. They say that plants can't speak and they don't have words inside of their mind, and they're correct in saying that because they don't have words inside of their mind, because that's not how they think. A plant, including a cloud, has a different modality of thought. They think differently. It's a different type of awareness. A human perception cannot fathom what it's like to think like a blade of grass or a cloud. But they can access those records because, like I said, you are in everything. Once you shed the ego and you become weightless, you don't have the identity of self, you can become other aspects of you, and that's how you're going to tap into the Akashic Records. Okay? Now I'll give you a better way in a sec, but let's move on. So here you see the stream, okay? This stream can be likened to the corridors in the library, these separate aisles in which you walk to get the information. And these eyes are all you. They're all you. And you see the color? Dealing with different modalities of thought, different experiences, all being channeled, by the way, from different dimensional layers of space. The emotional realm, thought realm, 3D, all experiences. So let's go down to here. Your eyes again inside of different earths, different versions of Earth. And again, it applies to Earths, parallel versions of you. You have the record of all the Earths that exist, including anyone who has already existed and who is going to exist, because every point of space happens at the same point of time. You're just moving through different dimensions, one at a time, which give you the perception of time, the feeling of motion, and the more you focus on each point of time, the longer time feels. It feels like it starts to drag. And the more frames per second, or the more dimensions you're not paying attention to, the faster your day goes. Okay, that's why when you're trying to just wait for the day to end at work, you notice that time slows down. It's because you're paying more attention to the frame rate, the parallel dimensions in front of you that you're moving through. Okay, so let's go back to the image real quick, and then I'll sit this back down. This right here, the air particles. Oh yeah, nothing in existence that exists right now is void of consciousness, is void of some sort of awareness. If it was, then it wouldn't exist. Even this little baby plant has, well, you in it. Now let's look at this, what's going on here. Okay, this shell right here, this silhouette of a person, that is your physical vessel, and it is channeling all of you. Now, depending on the awareness of the individual who is embodying this information of themselves, will depend on whether or not they'll be able to access other thought forms or other experiences from other versions of itself, whether that be other people, objects, elements, no matter what it is throughout the span of time and space. Okay? The reason why I put this here, why I put all of that white stuff there, okay, and by the way, that white stuff, that is you, that is consciousness, that is light that I'm resembling here in this image. The eyes, again, the eyes, I just put those eyes there to show you that this energy has the ability to see the experiences. But the energy that you are, that consciousness, that's something different. That's the ability to vibrate and resonate on different frequencies, to embody different states of beings. Okay. But up here deals with the perception, the ability to make sense out of thoughts. If you channel another version of you, because you have the human template, you can further make sense out of what they were feeling, out of what they were going through, out of their mentality. And this modality of thought, this chakra, this point of space, will allow you to interpret and decipher the information from other humans. And if you want to decipher the information from a cloud, you move to a different area of your body, because your entire vessel has the ability to understand all forms of nature, because it has the ability to resonate on different frequencies. And that's why the physical body is so important. So you'll need to activate this part of your body. You'll need to be able to sit in here in order to access all of this, so that you can resonate on different frequencies.
So how do you access this? First off, if you're one of those people who have a long mental checklist of things to do that you haven't done already, and that's why you're dreaming of kissing that girl that you wanted to kiss, or of cleaning the dishes that you should have cleaned the day before, then I got news for you. That is not the Akashic record. That is a simulatory experience, giving you the opportunity to act on the thoughts and desires and dreams that you should have done in 3D. I just want to make that real clear. Because a lot of people, they know that they have access to the Akashic records all the time. But it's being able to distinguish when you're actually viewing the Akashic records. That is when you'll be able to accurately take information from one location and bring it here. So you know what's going to happen before it happens. Okay, if you've seen my video on YouTube where I talk about how to read the future, that's tapping into the Akashic records. So you can even go over there and figure out how to do it. But this will be more detailed. So, okay, how do you do it? You've cleaned all that stuff, you've done your mental checklist, right? The next thing you would want to do is you need to get well familiarized with dropping your awareness into your body so that you don't think like a human being. Okay, you have this template of thought which makes you believe certain beliefs. Ever wondered why it feels so good to be in water or to lean up against a tree? Have you ever looked into the eyes of an animal and seen yourself, or felt some sort of intelligence behind those eyes that resembles your own intelligence? That's because it's you. It's a part of you in the things that you're looking at and touching. If you want to learn how to feel that record of information from a plant, lay on the grass, sit in a tree and close your eyes and let your body feel into that information, and that is you instantly picking up on that record of information. They say trees are wise teachers for this specific reason. If you can tap into the vibrational frequency of a plant and you can understand it from its own perspective, wow, strange things begin to happen. Now real quick, in order to do that, what you do is you hold the memory of that record. So you go out, sit in a tree, get that information, gather and cultivate that info. Lay down in your bed roughly an hour before you go to sleep and remember what you did, remember what you felt, and remember where that feeling came from originally. When you lay against a tree, it will sprout in a part of your body. That energy will come from a certain place in your body, normally around about your chest, and it will spread through your being. That is where you want to sit, in your chest, whilst you're remembering that record. And then slowly allow your consciousness to become shaped by the energy, and watch what happens. Okay, just watch what happens. You'll find yourself feeling all of the other frequencies of that same vibration that already exists within your local area. You'll feel the trees. Not only that, but you'll feel yourself in the trees, so you'll feel as if you are your landscape. And as you fall into the deeper state of consciousness, you will detach from this character that you think you are, and you'll become that record. You'll become that you that is in that vessel, that body of consciousness, of matter, and that will allow you to have a first-person experience when it comes to you discovering how those creatures think, you know, how those beings think, how they feel their information. And then you can come back. Now, real quick, if you do this with a cloud, you could start a lightning storm above your house. I've done this, okay, and it's quick, and it's cool. It makes me wonder about Storm in X-Men, because her eyes go wet, she goes into a trance-like state. I'm pretty sure that's what she's doing. She's going into the clouds, she's becoming the cloud, and she's gathering the cloud, because she understands the language. But then she leaves herself wide open to an attack. Yeah, it's kind of So you do that with the plants, okay? Go outside, get the record. Come back, lay down, remember the record. Feel the record externally in your environment. Drop down consciously to the body, that specific area where you first felt that record. Enter your being, your vessel, and sit in that until you mold and merge outwardly, expanding, feeling everything around you as if you're leaving the body. It's a strange type of projection. It's more of a merge. It feels like you're waking yourself up in other things. It's a strange remembering, but you'll understand that once you experience it. So that's how you access that record. Now, if you do that with other people, if you go and crowd watch, people watch, that's what I used to do, and you feel everyone. You can look at people's eyes if you want, shopkeepers. Look through all of the stuff that you don't like looking at. A lot of people judge people straight away on face value. They look at them, they judge them, they smell them. Oh, he smokes, I don't do that. Nah. A lot of people have a hard time accepting the fact that they are everyone because they hate how other people live their lives. But you've got to realize something. You're not their character, but you are their essence. You are their soul. And again, if you haven't had that, that experience, but you see yourself in someone, it's going to be hard for you to believe what I'm saying. So I challenge you to go out and actually look at someone in their eye and ignore all of their junk that you don't like about them. All of that stuff that you hate, just ignore it for once in your life. Just put it aside and just to look at yourself in them. It may get a bit weird because you'll experience a moment of real, and that moment of real it's outside of the matrix. It's outside of the programs that we adopt, the characteristics. It's outside of that, and it's more, you'll find out. But go out, do that, okay? Get well versed with doing that. And then come back, same with the plant, lay down on your bed, and close your eyes and feel yourself in everything around you. And because you're focusing on that person that you viewed, you'll have that record of that human template, and now you'll be able to pick up on all the humans around you. And then you'll feel all these little consciousness pilot lights, these little stars, these little sparks around your town, all these yous thinking. And you'll feel them, especially at dawn, no, not dawn, sunrise, at sunrise. If you're awake before the sun comes up, lay there, feel everyone, and you could feel everyone getting ready for work. You could feel them getting ready to prepare their kids, drinking their coffee. You can pull that archive of information from everyone. Now, if you want to move sideways in time, you gotta get good at moving sideways in time. You gotta get good at perceiving the future. If you've seen my video on how to predict the future, watch that, okay, with the coin toss. I'll put a CC card, a little info thing that should come across the screen somewhere. Click on that video, do that experiment, pick up on that record, which would be pretty much a how-to book if we were gonna make sense out of it. That feeling of how to do something, how to, that would be the title of the book, okay? Read that video, watch that video, and get used to seeing the future. Lay down on your back, tap into that feeling, that archive that you feel, not see, and then expand by feeling that in everything else. Not just this third dimension, but it's gonna have to peer through different dimensions. And you'll know what I mean when you see that video, because I talk about how to direct your focus through different dimensions. And then you'll be able to access the records of other points of space that already exist. So you'll be able to predict the future, see the past, get anything that you want from anyone, okay? So I'm Ryan JC. This is going to be about do it when it comes to how to access and use the Akashic Records. I gave you a bit of a download, a bit of a example when it comes to what it is the Akashic Records actually are. I told you what most people accidentally think they are due to their misunderstanding of how other people are teaching these teachings. Check it out, try it out, and tell me what your experience is in the comments below. And depending on that, I'll probably see you guys pretty soon. Peace.